What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So thank you guys again for joining us for another Sunday Stock Talk. Yesterday was Christmas, so obviously today is not Sunday. That is why we are doing it on, close today. Due just to the holiday, they do it in observance. So that's something that we actually were talking about this morning. So that was pretty cool speaking to all of you that were super motivated to trade in the morning. So kind of. I'm going to do a little bit of a recap of last week's trading, a couple things that like some news articles and stuff like that I read that I think might help us get a better understanding of what to expect this upcoming week, especially it being the last week of the year. So that's very important, and we want to make sure that we end the year on a green note. So let's make this week a green week. Just stay consistent and stuff like that. So again, we're going to go over the 3 rules. So the first rule, so we have 3 rules when it comes to TechBud Solutions. So TechBud Solutions is the group that I have that I kind of created to help individuals kind of learn the basics and fundamentals of trading stocks and investing overall. That you can kind of use the same concept and implement it into whatever business market that you want to get into. So the first rule is we do not hold a penny stock overnight. So a true penny stock is one that is valued under $1. Therefore, it's worth a matter of pennies. Usually people sometimes refer anything, under 50 cents is a penny stock, is a true penny stock. But, there's a lot of ways around it because now companies can do like reverse stock splits, which can later lead to, instead of it being worth, with 1 million shares was worth 50 cents. Now with only 250,000 shares, it's now worth, $2, but it's still the same stock. So look into the company that you're trying to invest in. Look at the graph overall. But again, if it's a true penny stock, the first rule that we have is to not hold it overnight. And the reason we do that is when the market closes and you don't sell, things can happen, especially with that business. So let's say it goes and files bankrupt. Just a bunch of different things can happen to kind of influence the price of that individual stock. And because it is a penny stock with a matter of cents, if it's a 10-cent stock, if it moves, down 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, that's 10, 20, 30% of whatever you have invested losing. Therefore, if you have $1,000, that's $100, $200, $300 you just lost, and you can't control that amount, especially if it gets delisted. That is one of the, most, I believe, that is one of the worst feelings, not being able to control, you just seen, especially if you don't have access to like pre-market or aftermarket trading. It's just horrible seeing, the amount of money that you have invested in the stock go down, especially because, you broke one of the rules. And again, it's just a rule that I created to kind of help, new traders minimize their loss. And if you want to do this long term and you want to make this a career in a sense, you have to have certain rules and certain guidelines that you have to go by, and you have to make sure that you stay disciplined. So again, that is one of the most important rules, to not hold a penny stock overnight, just so you can control the amount you make and you lose, because you want to stay in the green overall. So second rule is going to be that you only trade penny stocks that have 10% potential. So let's say, for an example, a beautiful stock is, $1. And I always use, let's say Apple traded at $1. From $1, it trades from $1 to $1.10. All of a sudden it drops to 90 cents, and it drops to 90 cents, once every, 4 months. So every quarter there's a drop, based on the trend of the past year. It's done it 3 times during that 4th quarter, and it's dropped to that 90 cents. So based on, that analysis that you can make on that stock itself, you can kind of, you can't predict, but you can look at the trends, and based on, the analysis that you're doing, you think it's a pretty good probability that, I'm going to take, my $5,000, invest it here at the 90 cents. And I know at least, I can get back to that $1 mark, making, from 90 cents to $1, making it like, 11, 12% profit. Therefore, it has 10% potential. 10% potential, or 10% is your overall goal. If you make 5, 8, whatever, it's profit, and that's what I want you guys to understand. So staying in the green is the most important thing, especially for those that are just getting into trading. Don't get greedy. Don't worry about trying to maximize the amount of money that you're making. Because it's about the concept and the principle that you have to learn in the beginning, because you're trading with a smaller amount of money. Later on, when you start trading with thousands of dollars, then you could be worrying about, how much profit you're bringing in. But right now, if you're trading with like, $100 to $500, bringing in, hitting 10%, bringing in $10 to $50 a day, that's not huge amounts of money. And because of that, it's more, you want to learn as much as you can now. So later on, when you're trading with, a larger account, you can minimize your losses and maximize, your potential gains. So to not hold a penny stock overnight, have, only trade stocks that have 10% potential, and then making sure that you set a stop loss. So being able to control how much money you lose. So, overall goal is making money. And the only way you can make money is if you could control how much, not every trade you're going to make is going to be a green one. So you're not always going to make a profit off each trade. So let's say you want to, cut your losses every time at 2.5%, then stay disciplined to that. No matter what the price is, no matter, how passionate you feel about a certain company, if you stay, consistent and you cut your losses at 2.5%, and you lock in your profits at 5 to 10% every single time. Overall, in the long run, you're going to stay in the green. So I know it hurts, cutting your losses, especially when you lose a day trade. But don't sweat it. You're doing this for the long run. You're doing this for the years to come. So stay disciplined, stay consistent, and make sure that you cut your losses short, because you're going to regret it a lot more in the long run if you end up saying like, no, this stock's going to pick up, goes from like, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, $4, and now you just lost, 70% of your account. And because you're a new trader and you just lost, 3/4 of your account, now you're not going to feel very motivated in this being a potential, market that you can invest in. So those are the 3 rules that I created, or that I suggest to the members in TechBud Solutions. Definitely does not have to be something you have to go by. It's just something that, with my experience, has helped me be a successful trader in the market that I'm in. But again, if you have your own rules, kind of adjust them and make them a little bit more personable to you. They're just ones that I suggest. So let's go ahead and get started. So thank you guys for hearing me out on that. The first stock that I'm going to talk about, since it got so much good news, has to be REX. So it's REXX. That's the ticker symbol. Doesn't mean that you guys have to trade. I'm just going to talk about it. It's one that I traded, about like 4 to 5 times last week, and it's one that I did pretty well on. I only had to cut my losses once, and I cut it at like 0.2 of a cent. Lost like $10, but brought in a lot more profit when it came to REX. Didn't hit my $200 goal every day. I believe the last 2 days in the market, I didn't do too well. Hit like 135 and then 185, so a little shy of my $200 profit per day. But profit's profit, so I'm not too worried about that. It's been so much fun, trading. I've been a little bit more active with you guys, and I definitely want to do a little bit. I don't know if you guys would be into this, but possibly a live stream. Either through YouTube or through Instagram, since a lot of you are like social media based. And we use Robinhood and stuff like that. So I think it'd be kind of like a neat thing to kind of get into. So you guys can ask me questions. It's a feed that kind of just pops up, because I don't know if you guys are messaging on this, but there's a chat that's designed. But I usually can't read it because I'm filming, or like I'm recording myself, and I don't have access to that chat room. At least I don't know how. But let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to talk about REX, a little bit about the article. So if you guys are in the GroupMe, I sent out the link to the article, and then it kind of talks about what's to come for REX itself this 2017 year, early 2017. So since REX is an energy company, it kind of talks about why it's going to be doing so well, why there's positive cash flow within 2017, but also how it's going to kind of be hard for this company itself to grow long term. So again, we're day traders, and we really just need to catch it, with those spikes. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, do technical analysis, kind of do my thing when it comes to that, and then I'm going to just provide you guys with the links and information and kind of the tools that I use to analyze my stocks and kind of like what I look into. And then you guys pick your stocks, you guys do your own analysis, and you guys do your own, you guys are smart people. If you guys are thinking about investing, then you guys should definitely know what to invest in. If you guys do not know or can't label it as a good, investment, then you should not be investing it. Don't go based on, anyone else's opinion, no matter, how prestigious their opinion can be. It's really, it's your money. If you lose $10, $20, $30,000, then based on someone else's opinion, that's going to feel horrible, especially, it's going to discourage you from trading, and it's going to pretty much ruin the career that you potentially could have had when it came to trading overall. So make sure, you always do your own work, and, you guys are smart people. So make sure that, you put in the hard work, and yeah, just make it happen for you guys. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and then let me know if you guys have any questions. Message me through, Facebook, if you guys have my email, if you guys have my number, if you guys have the GroupMe application, the different platforms we use, message me, and then I'll go ahead and answer them. So it looks like we got a pretty good viewing right now. So I'm going to try to see what I can do. So let's see. Alrighty, so Rex is going to be the first company again that I'm going to be talking about. This is Fidelity, the company that I use, the brokerage company that I use to do my technical analysis, like we do every Sunday Stock Talk, and it's pretty much what I trade with, or have on my side when I trade, just so to remind myself, where the safety nets and where the resistance levels are when it comes to trading. So for Rex itself, you could say that it's been on a downward, kind of spiral coming. It picked up from 37, went all the way up where it usually trades around 50 to 60, and then started dropping consistently, or very, very slowly. First broke the safety at 49, and then broke it at 48, and then broke it at 47, and then it stayed pretty consistent at 46 and held above 46, except for aftermarket hours. It did hit 45.51, and then it hit I believe 47.78. That is where it closed. So let's go ahead and get a little bit closer to kind of, what when it comes to analyzing the stock. So does it go by one of our rules? So that is a safety. So what that means is, as the stock continues to drop, it tends to hit 46 cents and then pop back up. Based on the trend, for the past couple of days, it's been holding very well above 46 cents. It's been on a steady decline. So you want to make sure that, if you buy in at 46, that you set your stop loss at 45.99 or 45.98, because when it goes below 46, then that's a new safety or new resistance that we are not familiar with. So it's going to probably continue to drop a little bit more. So cut your losses short once it does end up going below 46 cents. At least that's my recommendation, or that's what I'm going to do. So pretty much hit 46, started picking up, and hit highs of, when it hit 46, hit highs of 50, and then came back down. And again, it's holding at 47.78. So tomorrow's going to determine kind of how it's going to start out. If it goes sub 46, then again, going to go probably down to that 37 cent. This is going to probably be the new safety when it comes to Rex. So it's probably going to stop there first at 40, as it tends to like fives and zeros, and then it'll probably hopefully pick up at 38 cents if it continues to drop, right? But hopefully we see a spike up, and this one definitely does have that 10% potential. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get a little bit closer. Let's do a 10-day analysis. And if you guys haven't seen my recap videos for the past week, I believe I traded Rex, I think 3 or 4 out of the 5 days, and did pretty well with it overall. It has a selling point, I believe, at 49 to 50 cents. That tends to be a pretty good area to buy. Buying in at 46 to 49 cents, that is nearly 10%. So you get pretty close to that 10% profit. You're looking at 3 cents, so yeah, it is a little bit shy of that potential, but it definitely has potential to make some profit, especially with these big volume spikes. Hopefully, it could do what it did here, as in within this day, hit lows of 45.51, and then picked all the way up to the closing of 52.5. So with that, definitely saw over 10%, nearly 20% potential, or 20% profit within, that day of trading. But that definitely doesn't always happen. Actually, it hit highs of 54, right? Yeah, 54 to 60. Yeah, so about 25% right there alone. So yes, that's what we're hoping for. So again, the volume is pretty much what's going to determine, if the volume is good and we see a lot of people holding, and then it starts breaking the resistance at like 48 cents, 49 cents, and 50, then that's when you know that it's going to be picking up. So what I do is I set my alerts at, let's say I get in at 46.01. I'm going to set my stop loss and my alert. I'm going to set my alert at 46 cents once it goes below that, if it goes below that. And I'm going to set my stop loss at profit 45.99, meaning, I cut my losses at 1/10 of a cent or 2/10 of a cent. And this is actually what happened when I bought in, I believe, at 47.01, and it went below 47. So I cut my losses short again, long term, keeping it real, and kind of wait for that bounce. So once I cut my losses here, once it went below, I waited for it to kind of plateau, hit 46, bought in at 46.01, and then rode it, and then ended up selling a little bit higher. So again, that's what we're going to be hoping for. So let's say like the morning opens and it comes back down to 46, going to wait for that pop up, and be hoping to sell or set it, once it passes 40, 47 to 48, set your alerts on that. So when it goes above, 47, set your alerts. When it goes above 48, set your alerts. When it goes above 49, set your alerts. I'm most likely going to sell within 49 cents to 50 cents, as that tends to be an area where it tends to hit and then come back down, hit, come back down. So with that, based on the history of hitting 49 cents, it tends to be a pretty strong resistance. So again, just locking in my profits, and that's probably what I'm going to end up having to do for Rex if the volume isn't really in our favor. But at least we know we can lock in some good profit. There was one question that was sent out to us, and I'm going to talk about RGSE. They pretty much asked for my opinion on what I thought about the stock, and where it's at right now. So pretty much overall safety, it's going to be right around 18 cents if I'm not mistaken. Has a pretty nice safety right here at 26 cents, as it tends to hit 22 or 26, come back up, 26, come back up, and then bounce kind of, but it's now plateauing. So now it's going to probably, flatline at 26 and then start coming back down as, once it breaks 26, it's going to start trading within, the 18 or 20 cent to 26 cents. So that's pretty much my analysis on RGSE. I definitely don't think that this is going to be a long-term hold, as well as, or especially because it did not meet NASDAQ requirements, so it was like ineffective, probably getting delisted. So with this one's definitely not a stock to hold, especially because it's under $1. But again, up to you guys. So you guys do your own analysis and kind of trade based on that. So there was another stock that I wanted to talk about, so NUGT. NUGT, especially with this new year coming, coming into effect, gold itself tends to do pretty well when it from the months after February. So we're going to start seeing, a little bit of a rise. And we've seen a little bit of a rise after that big drop to, 55 cents or $5.55. And it's been picking up, and it's been holding pretty well above $6. So this week's pretty much going to determine how it's going to be doing. So what I'm looking for is the break at 6:30. And the reason I'm talking about the break at 6:30 is because after it had this huge, drop down from that nearly $8 mark. Let's change that color. I like these to be red, as they're my resistance. So I'm waiting for the break here at 6:30. So once it breaks 6:30, you should see probably a high spike in volume. And the reason why is because there's no real resistance. There's going to be slight resistance here at 670, but still, from 630 to 670, that's still a pretty good gap. But again, 10% potential. So what does that mean? You nearly have to make about 63 cents to make 10% when it comes to trading this. But the margin of profit that this thing, or the potential for profit that NUGT does hold, based on this gap, if it does end up breaking $6.30, would seem, pretty favorable to those that end up getting in the spike. But again, wait for that upward momentum. So when it breaks, $6.31, don't jump in right away, because it could, just, hit it like it did here and then come back down. So make sure it breaks it and the volume starts picking up and the price starts picking up, and then make your decision and do your own analysis on whether you should be, writing it up. And don't be afraid to, lock in your profits, whether they're at 2, 5, 10, whatever it is, percentage, just lock in your profits, especially if you're a new trader. Green days are green days, and you want to make sure that you understand the concept and aren't so worried about how much money you're actually bringing in within the first couple of weeks of your initial start date to trading. So I'd say this one does have a pretty big gap from $6.30 to $8.30. So being able to lock that nearly, what is that, 30% profit, 40% profit potential. But again, keeping it real, shooting for 10%, and being able to stay consistent. So if I end up, making 10%, I'm just going to lock in my profits there and kind of go based on that. But again, it could hit 630 and then come back down, and just know that it does have a pretty strong safety first it has a safety at $6 as they like, even stocks or zeros and fives, and then just know that it has a pretty strong safety right here as well. This is around the $5.60 area, which is actually where I caught it last time. So it bounced at like 551 and then started riding back up. So again, just know the safety nets and know the resistance levels, and then trade according to that. Alerts are very helpful just because they keep you up to date. So the app that I use to kind of keep myself up to date when it comes to trading is TD Ameritrade. It's the live platform I use on the mobile app, and then with that, it really helps me out on knowing where the price stands for different stocks that I'm trading or wanting to trade, letting me know when I'm back in my level comfort level of trading. There was another one that I was gonna talk about. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah. So DRYS, this is let's go back to 1 year kind of to see where it stands. So it's obviously been dropping a lot, especially since it came from the 275. But looking at the day trades and the potential that it does have, this is a really volatile one, and it's one that gets manipulated quite often. So with that, just know that it's kind of flatlining. This is why I want to bring it up. It's been flatlining at 425. So there either is going to be a pretty big spike of volume. So there's probably going to be a big spike of volume, either going up or going down. Safety as of now seems to be, and we gave this one a shout out when it did hit that 52-week low, and then some of you actually rode it all the way up once it hit that $6 mark. But now this is kind of going to determine, are we going to be getting that 425 and riding it to that, $4 or $5, $4.75 and $5 mark, potentially $6, or is it going to start, bouncing and trading within, the $3.50 to $4 area again, as in, it did in the previous. So kind of set your alerts. I have my alerts set once it goes, below 420, and once it goes above $4.40. So with that, kind of lets me know where DRYS stands. And it keeps me up to date on whether if I should be going in or just continue to just be an observer when it comes to trading DRYS. So this is GroupMe. GroupMe is actually the app that we mainly use to communicate with one another. And it's been really helpful, just based on the active traders are continuously, just giving, putting in all their information, kind of looking to like what to trade, what they're doing, where they're buying in and stuff like that, and giving you different points of views when it comes to trading. So I found this, this messenger group to be very helpful, and it tends to be the most active, especially, we really don't use Facebook. This is kind of just like the overall group on, where we all stand, but this is actually where we come into play every morning, saying good morning to one another and then trade together. So it's a pretty good group, really fun environment. We're very welcoming, especially for new traders. And then this is actually the document that I was reading about Rex and kind of giving that breakdown. So I'll provide you the link if you're in the GroupMe, and if you're not, feel free to email me at techbuds@mail.com. The link's going to be provided for you down below, and I'd be happy to add you to the GroupMe. Alrighty, I'm pretty sure that is it. Let me just double check real quick. Let me know. I usually see like in the comments, a couple other questions that I missed out on, but let me know if I missed out on anything else. And that should be it. So a couple links should be popping up about new videos that I've been posting on YouTube. So filmed a couple cool videos, especially for the holidays. So if you guys haven't seen that already and you guys are into cars, then those links will be provided for you, for the Maserati and the 1,000 horsepower GTR that we filmed, giving to the homeless. But that is pretty much it. So I'm really excited for this week. I really want to end this week on a good note, and then I'm going to be driving back to California. So I just came back from California. I'm back in Arizona today. I got here about 9, work today, and then I'm going to be here for 4 days and then head back to California to celebrate my 2-year anniversary with my girlfriend. So that's going to be really exciting. Hopefully I get some good footage for you guys, but I want to make sure that, we focus on ending the week, strong, and then starting 2017 on a good note. So it's been, crazy as, TechBuds started mid to early 2016, and it's been doing very well with what we've been trying to do. So thank you guys again so much, for the welcoming environment that you guys have been able to, give to me and to all the new traders. If you guys have any question whatsoever, emails down below. I try to respond as quick as I can. Emails tend to come, in a bunch, and it's kind of overwhelming sometimes to answer all of them, especially because I really just don't want to give you guys a generic answer. I really like to sit down and kind of respond to each and every one of you. So thank you guys again. You guys sometimes just send me, like nice, comments and like messages of support and stuff like that, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys again. I hope you guys have a good holiday and were able to spend it, with your loved ones. And if you guys have any other questions, all the links are down below. And that is it. So let's make sure we start the week on a green note. Take care, guys, and happy holidays.